Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the two losses that I took. Um, while I was trading, I felt like that they were good trades, but in hindsight, it's kind of like, okay, what side should you be on, right? So let's get into it straight away. So here, coming into the market, I knew that we were bearish. It was very clear that we were bearish, right? But looking at how the trades were playing out, so you can see these like blue lines here, that's like the developing point of control. Looking at how we were playing out and looking at how we were moving, I thought that this was the bottom, right? Now, I'm not really one to try to call bottoms and tops. I don't really believe in all of those, right? Like, you have to look at how the market is responding. However, with the way the market was playing out, I was like, okay, we actually might have found the bottom here, right? What is the reasoning for this? The reasoning is if you see at 8 o'clock, there was no huge movement. A lot of times at 8 p.m. Eastern, you have this huge volatility candle that's kind of telling you which way you want to go. Not always, but a lot of times it does. You have this huge red candle here followed up by a green candle with high volume, basically like a 2 bar reversal, right? And we're on value area lows for the current session. I love that. And I think that's kind of what keyed me in into taking long plays. Even though I knew we were bullish, this huge consolidation at the bottom here, there was no push lower. So I was like, okay, cool, right? So we do end up heading lower. Let's see what my executions are at. Honestly, again, in hindsight, it was a ton of chop, like a lot of chop. So we actually end up taking our first Jeez, sorry, I got sniped there. Um, we ended up taking our first trade at 819, and we added five, right? The risk to reward is really good. We were aiming for a value area high at the time, which is around 360 or so, right? So again, you're only giving up, at this time, I was only giving up about 16 points for potentially 20 plus points, right? However, we just continued to bleed out. And as you can see here, we've just bled and bled and bled, right? So I ended up getting stopped out at this candle, 323.25. Fine, right? Ended up getting back in because I was like, oh, okay, of course I get stopped out and we start continuing higher. That could have been the bottom there. Nope, we just continue to bleed lower. So I think that this is a really good lesson in terms of being on the right side, not of the market, but of variance. And what I mean by that is that most times, whenever I trade, I usually just trade in the direction of the trend. The reason why is because you're already going with the current of water, right? You're already going with the flow. There's no need to overthink it. You know that the market is going a certain way. There's no need to go in the opposite direction, right? And today I didn't think that for whatever reason. Now, again, for good reason, right? I don't think that these were bad trades necessarily. It's not like I wasn't following my rules. It's not like I wasn't being patient. But if you want to win more than you lose, then you need to be on the right side of variance. Part of that for me in my trading is making sure that I stick to the direction of the trend. Now, I do believe that yesterday's trade took a part and played a part in terms of how I traded today, right? Not because of the win, but because of the way the win occurred. Same, close to the same scenario happened. We were holding, we were bearish at the time, we were showing reversal patterns, right? I thought that this was a reversal pattern, and the market just didn't follow through. Sometimes when you get into this type of chop here, you'll see that there's no buying pressure, and that's something that I need to do a better job of recognizing in the moment. There's no buying pressure. Yes, there are some spikes here looking like we want to head higher, but there's nothing supporting that. Even if I looked at the 5 minute too at the time, we'll just actually get out of replay so we can see. Even if I looked at the 5 minute, I'll see here that we had this huge, not huge, but this red pin bar reversal, right here. We had that here, right? So yes, I did see that. That's when we ended up getting stopped out. But I jumped back in because I was like, cool, look at this candle. Yes, it's not the highest volume on the 5, but it is supporting my thesis that, okay, we are bouncing off the value area lows and hopefully we'll be heading higher towards the value area highs. Another key indicator for myself that I can use in the future is that if we're ever chopping like this and value area highs start getting lower and lower and start compressing with value area lows, then now we know for sure that we are in chop. There's not a lot of buying pressure, right? There's no type of movement occurring in order for us to be able to move these value area lows and these value area highs to different levels, right? So therefore, that's basically telling me, okay, like we need to make sure that we're following the trend, and we need to be aware that there is no pressure to the long side. There's a lot of just like slowly bleeding out to the downside. Now, the not the problem with this, but something that you have to be aware of is that you can easily get caught in a huge high volume reversal, right? It happens. So that's why it's important if I was trading to the short side, my stops would have to be tight. I would have to make sure that I'm going to break even. And obviously, we're looking for these lower and lower levels, but it's taking a very long time to get there. So, um, but yeah, down on the day today. I wish that I had just gone in. Um, I wish that I had just gone in the direction of the market because then we would have been up, however much we would have been up. But we just did not do a good job of doing that today. So I think that's why it's really important too. Whenever you're trading, you have to make sure that you're aligned with the market, right? I think it was just a few videos ago, maybe, that I spoke about being in line with the flow of what's going on and not banging against the direction. Well, I didn't take my advice today and I went against the grain and it ended up costing me today. So, a valuable lesson though. Again, we are trading better, right? Today, I have to say this for myself. I think I did a really good job trading today, right? Now, obviously, taking 2 losses, it's not fun, but I was unemotional, right? I didn't, not that I didn't care that I lost, because obviously I don't want to lose, but we took our loss, we walked away, we came back once we had our alerts, we entered again thinking that, okay, maybe we were just early, right? We weren't, we lost again, but that's okay, right? That's completely fine. And those things occur. But the fact that I'm able to now be able to walk away and just set my alerts once my full position size is in, it's a really good step in the right direction. So I also feel like too having 4 funded accounts now again is providing me less pressure to try to make things happen, right? I felt like once I blew my last account when I tilted on that, all I was thinking about was trying to get it back or trying to make money to make up for it. And that's not how it works, right? You need to do the best that you can in order to trade in a way that allows you to last a long time in this game. And I think that's something that I'm trying to improve on and trying to get better at too. I no longer feel like I need the money, essentially, right? I'm just so focused now coming into this month. I'm just so focused on the process, so focused on trying to learn from my trades, trying to be on the right side of variance, trying to make sure that I'm just sticking with the process and doing what I need to whenever I trade now. Um, I think it's really helpful. So when I took my 2 losses, I immediately locked my account. I looked at the trade and I was like, yeah, I probably should have traded in the direction of the market, but we learned from it, right? So I'm happy about that. We live to fight another day. So yeah, so even if this account is blown, we're not thinking like that anyway. But even if if this account is blown, we have another funded account here, and of course we have the other 2 funded accounts that I will be looking to activate. One this week and then one next month as well. So we're just gonna take our time, see what happens. If we're able to get one payout at the end of this month, I think that is the goal. And then we just start moving from there. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys took something out of that too in terms of being on the right side of variance, right? Because you just want to make sure that the probabilities work in your favor. right? You don't want to go against probability. It can work sometimes, but as I learned today, um, it can definitely go against you too, and that's something that I need to be more aware of when I trade tomorrow night. So hopefully you guys have had a good trading day today. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Um, and yeah, hopefully you guys are doing what you can to have a great month. It's early, right? So if you've taken a couple losses like I did today, don't worry about it. We'll bounce back. And if you're winning, great job. Just keep it up. Keep doing what you need to do, and then hopefully um, we'll get to the top. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading stoically.